was devoured by Jpeg, so nice job by him. Gargoyle is popped onto Ziggy Best. AZK is taking some damage. Marm going to go into Frostpest since he's taking quite a bit of damage, wants to reduce that damage there. And Flynn is going to have his Tremor killed, and he's actually bursted pretty hard there by Jpeg, down to about 60% HP. He's going to spam out some flash heals on himself as he does catch that penance from Hulk Pass.
Yeah, Marm actually opened with a Gargoyle that game, but Hulk was put into a trap, so Marm just had to fall back and just land aside the damage, so that Gargoyle wasn't really being put to use, and that's quite a major cooldown.
Yeah, it is a very big cooldown, man. And as we can see, though, Ziggy Best full mana, and we have Hulk Pass basically full mana as well. So there's a fear onto Ziggy Best. We're going to be devoured immediately by Jpeg. Really nice job by him there. He's going to have to Trinket, though, and Jpeg is. And he is going to be playing Destro, obviously, if you haven't caught on to that just yet. Marm back into that Unholy Presence, trying to get the damage rolling, having his globals reduced. We can see their Incinerates are trying to be spammed out here by Jpeg, but Flynn does get a shock on one of them. And actually, a lot of mana was just used by Hulk Pass, as he was taking quite a bit of damage there. And he's down to about 15k mana. He still has, a lot of those cooldowns to get it back, though. So it's not really going to be too impactful. And Jpeg going to get some life taps out. He's retreating. He's trying to stay out of range of the shocks. AZK is taking a lot of damage, down to about 40% HP. Ziggy Best going to land some big heal on him, though. Freedomed himself out of that grip and just kind of running back. And we see the Tremor Totem was wanted there by Jpeg, trying to go for the Fear on Flynn, but he will be shocked on that Fear, and the Tremor Totem will be redropped. Yeah,
and AZK is usually doing a pretty good job of kiting Marm, but Marm actually had quite a lot of uptime on AZK there, and there's a grip in on Ski, and they didn't really do anything. I'd actually expect them to maybe swap on Ski with a death grip.
Lust is popped, though, and AZK could be in some trouble here. Jpeg stuck in that full hex, no decurse available, and Ziggy Best is going to Trinket right into a Mind Control, and that is bad. They need to be able to break that up. AZK is going to be able to catch some heals, though, as he does come out with that Mind Control, and he is going to try to get away, but Hulk Pass, his mana is kind of hurting here a bit, so, even though it seems like Jpeg's team doesn't really have much damage going, they are kind of just winning the mana war pretty significantly, so if they can just continue to stay alive, keep the pressure going, things can start going really well for them, and Marm looks like he's going to be the target. These Immolates are just getting constantly dispelled, though. Big shout out for your Howl coming out. It's going to get knocked back, though, and Jpeg is going to get shocked on that following Immolate. But we can see that Marm, he's the target, but he's not taking that much damage, and AZK is now. He's taking, quite a bit of damage at half HP, and Ziggy Best is having to try to kite away, trying to LOS those burns as best he can, but Hulk Pass is really the one whose mana is hurting here.
Yeah, Hulk's mana is really low. I'm not sure if that's because he actually had to heal them, or if he just played super offensive, but Hulk is actually hurting on mana. There's a Shadow Fiend coming out, though, so he's going to get quite a lot of mana back. It's not getting kited. It seems like it is going to hit AZK, and AZK is still under so much pressure. Having used his first deterrence, this is his second deterrence, having used Readiness just to get that deterrence, so that's unfortunate for AZK, and he's still under so much pressure. Ski having to bubble.
Mastery and Bubble both used there, so he's really having to blow out a lot of cooldowns. I think the mana is just being used on Dispels, man. He's just dispelling Sacred Shield over and over and over and over and dispelling those Immolates, and that's really costing a lot of mana, but they are just getting so much pressure as a result of it. PS is there used onto Marm, who was taking a lot of damage, and Hulk Pass, does still have that Fear Ward up, so he's not really going to be able to be CC'd with the Tremor plus the Fear Ward. AZK, though, going to take some big damage as that Lava Burst does come in. He has to pop his Healthstone. A nice Fear onto Flynn is going to allow him some time to get top back off. Hulk Pass was coiled there by Jpeg, and Jpeg going to be able to fake the shock. He's going out here trying to get some damage done. He's going to get that Immolate up onto Flynn. No, it's going to be grounded. Nice shot by Flynn. He's going to shock the next Immolate as well.
Yeah, and Marm is just going to keep sitting on AZK. I guess he feels that the AZK is the target that takes the most damage, and that is exactly what it seems like. AZK is under constant pressure as soon as Marm's on him.
Yeah, it definitely is, and Marm, though, is going to be taking some damage here as Aim Shot is up, some Chaos Bolts are coming in, and Incinerate going to be able to land as well. He's down to 40% HP, he has to AMS. Before that Incinerate did land, he could have really spiked pretty low from that, and Hulk Pass, he's got a good amount of mana back. They're pretty even, though. Marm, though, his AMS is down, he's at 20% HP, he pops the PI and the AMZ. Both the healers are healing out. Flynn is having to spam on some lesser healing waves, and he's pretty low on mana. Big Hex is going to land on Jpeg, and he's going to be stuck in that full.
Yeah, Flynn has just been spending so much mana, you see, throwing out the damage, but it doesn't seem like it's enough. There's a grip onto Ski, and I don't know if he might get feared or hexed here. No, it doesn't seem like they're actually going to do anything with it, so he's just going to free himself and get away from there. Marm's still at 80% health, so they are trying to throw out some damage onto Marm, but it doesn't seem like it's enough, and they are going to go into Ski, and Marm having quite some runic power throwing that out on Ski, but Flynn cannot connect, and Ski's not going to have any trouble to keep himself alive.
Yeah, that Strangulate was just a little bit too late. He was able to land a big heal right before it, and then Healthstone during it, just making sure he didn't have to use his Trinket or anything, really. Jpeg is just doing a great job getting the damage done when he can. AM the ass is popped, but once again, a big Lava Burst coming in there from Flynn onto AZK, dipping him down, but we can see Jpeg is doing a great job keeping the damage rolling, and he's trying to do as much as he can. A big Chaos Bolt going to come in here on Marm, and Marm is going to get spiked dangerously low, down to 30% HP. If they have any interrupts for Hulk Pass, they could possibly get a kill. because he's just sitting so low. And there's a scatter shot onto Hulk Pass, and Marm is going to be just the kill target for sure. But AZK is going to have to deterrence once again. I think that's going to give Hulk Pass the time he needs to possibly get the heals.
Yeah, Marm going straight onto Jpeg to stop that damage, and there was actually a trap landing onto Hulk Pass that was instantly broken by Shadow Fuse. That's very unfortunate for the team of Chrysalid. But Marm's just gonna try to pillar here and keep himself alive, but down to 25%. Having to pop that IBF to keep himself alive into Frost Presence, and he's actually landing some pretty big heals there, trying to sit on AZK to stop as much damage as he can.
Yeah, and there was another hex there from Flynn on a Jpeg, but he's going to trinket that one. It's pretty frustrating having to deal with all these interrupts. He's going to get the Shadow Fury. Is he going to get the Halaterra? No. Grip nicely by Marb on that Halaterra. That was actually huge because Tremor was killed, and both those players would have been stuck in that. Another shock on the Immolate there from Jpeg, and Jpeg's going to be able to get some damage going though now. And Hulk Fast is going to be caught in that full fear. It looks like it's not being Tremor. There's a coil on a Marb. Do they have anything out of that to deny the AMS? They do not, but he's still at 60% HP. Another Shadow Fury coming in on Hulk Pass, and Zeke Best is really kind of starting to hurt on mana. I think he has plea available. I'd love to see him use that pretty early while they're still at full HP. A shock on the fair there from Jpeg, but he's going to go right back to the Immolate, and we can see he wants to get the damage done on Hulk Pass right now. Hulk Pass going to be taking some damage as the Hunter is connecting with him. He's slowed in the middle at about 60% HP. AZK taking a little bit of damage as well. Goes into Cheetah, aspect of Cheetah a little bit accidentally there because he's dazed now every time he gets hit, and that's a pretty big mistake. He needs to fix that up, but he does right now. Hulk Pass was down to about 70%, just spent a ton of mana keeping himself alive there. AZK is at half, Jpeg's at 70%. Hulk Pass down to only 3k mana.
Yeah, and AZK was actually under some pretty big pressure, but after getting a freedom, being able to kite, but Marm's just connecting to him once again. He's taking so much damage, and AZK's mana is actually dropping so low, down to 3,000 mana already now. So he's been having to use so much mana healing here in the end, and Jpeg is actually under some damage as well, but he managed to port away from the damage. But problem is that the healer's on the other side of the arena, so Jpeg is slowly waddling towards his healer to keep alive, but there's so much damage going to Marm, so Marm's kind of forced defensive, and he's throwing a death coast out on AZK while Flynn's doing his best to keep the damage up.
Yeah, and Zeke Best got a plea off there, and Hulk Pass is at 3k mana, so it's really coming down the wire here, man. It's so close. The Shadow Fury does come in. He's going to get that Fear Halaterra off, and they're going to be able to burst Marm off. It's going to take a ton of damage. They possibly could get the kill here. AMS is not available for 30 seconds. He's going to have to pop that AMZ defensively. Flynn having to throw out some heals as well, but he's still down at 50% HP. Throwing out the Death Coils, just trying to stay in that AMZ as best he can. Jpeg is going to get stuck in that stun right there, and he goes for the Scatter Trap, but Flynn is able to eat it. Nice job by him there. Will be dispelled by Hulk Pass, and Zeke Best really just trying to hurt on mana right now. Both healers are very low on mana. They're doing a good job maintaining, but it's really just going to come down who can get the burst and just force out those big heals, force them to stop being efficient. It looks like they're trying to go for a pet heal here, but Jpeg is too quick on the health funnel, and he's going to just mana drain the last of Hulk Pass's mana, so if they can stop his drinks, he's at literally 0 mana right now. A Hex does come out, but it is trinketed once again. There's the Shadow Fury, and big damage coming in here on Marm.
Yeah, and they're actually trying to trap Hulk Pass, but I think it got grounded or didn't hit at least. Actually, that is a full trap, my bad. So Hulk is sitting in a full trap. Marm is forced to use line-of-sighted damage here. A Chaos Bolt coming in, but Jpeg is still under so much pressure, even though Marm is nowhere close.
How did Hulk Pass get so much mana there? He just got, I guess the Fiend was popped. He just got like 15k mana from that Fiend, and another plea coming in here from Zeke Best, but he's way behind on mana after that Fiend was popped, and even with the pleas, he's still extremely low on mana, so he does have the double Solace. That's going to do something for him, but I think there's too much damage coming out for him to really be able to go for a drink, and AZK down 30% HP. AZK going to be able to survive here, goes into that Gnaw. There's the Divine Favor pop for that guaranteed crit, but unfortunately for him, he's going to get strangulated on the next heal. Nice Devour instantly by Jpeg. Really good job on that one. Deterrence will be forced regardless, though. Marm taking quite a bit of damage here. His AMS is back up already. That is just such a short cooldown. It looks like Zeke Best going to be going for the drink here as his team is topped off, but can AZK really stay alive long enough for him to be able to do that? Zeke Best is drinking right now, but he's going to have to stand up after only one tick.
Yeah, he barely got any mana at all, and kind of makes me question if it's actually worth it because AZK drops so low, and there's a Mind Freeze onto Zeke. I don't actually think he did actually manage to fake that, so good job by Zeke, but there's a gold coming onto AZK right now, and the gold actually got instantly feared by Zeke, but it also gets dispelled, so that's a very good dispel from the priest because the gold is just doing so much damage, you can't afford it to have it feared.
Yeah, and Zeke Best did just bubble plea and AoE sack, so he just used everything left in the tank, just trying to keep AZK alive as best he can. The plea is about to fall, so the heals will be coming out stronger here. Marm taking some damage. They really need to try to get some sort of burst going. PS has just expired onto Marm, so they did get that cooldown out. Zeke Best is about half HP. AZK is taking some damage as well. They are just barely running on fumes, and I can't believe Zeke Best was able to keep his team alive through that. Looks like they want to swap onto him. There's a big Hodge on a Marm, though, back behind the pillar, so if Jpeg can get back here, they could maybe get something going. There's a big Shadow Fear, going to be followed up by the Halaterra, but he is actually feared first, so he's not able to get it off. And Tiki Best is going to be the target. You can see that Flame Shock is up on him. He's being damaged heavily here by Marm. And Flynn trying to get those casts in. A big burn. 2 burns do land on Ziki Best. And I think that is possibly going to spell the end because he has just nothing left. He's going to pop the AM, but yet he will fall. And those 2 burns really just seal the deal for Flynn's team here.
Yeah, with only 19 seconds left to go, Ziki does go Shaman instead of the Paladin.
Yeah, and I mean, this is interesting. So we have been confirmed that the rules are that you can swap after every game because it's just a best of 3, not a best of 5. So for best of 5, you can only swap after 2 games. But anyway, it's all allowed, so we're good to go. You know, will Jpeg be Destro? Will he be Affliction? That is now the only really question left from me.
And there's a grip into Chrysaor right away, so they're going to go hard on Chrysaor right away on this map. There's a Bloodless popped already, so they're going to try to land everything on Chrysaor. He actually Bloodless right as well and has to Ghost Wolf away, and it seems like he's going to be able to Ghost Wolf to safety, but Marmish is on his ass right away, spamming those chains, and he's going to be able to set on him, it seems. There's still slows going on to Marm, and this goal popped already, so Chrysaor is still going to be under so much pressure, but there's a pin.
Already had to Trinket and Hellstone there, and he got Shranked, so yeah, pretty rough to start for him. He's taking a lot of damage. Yeah,
both teams using a lot of cooldowns here in the start, and ACK taking some damage, well, Flynn's starting to turn into him, but it's going to be fine for now, it seems. Urchi getting swapped over, and there's the Riptide, so ACK is not going to be in too much trouble right now.
Yeah, and I mean, there's the Shadow Fear coming down from Jpeg, so he is indeed obviously Destro. He is trying to get as much damage done as possible here. He's up top in a nice spot, but he's going to jump down, throw out Shadow Flame, maybe try to go for a Halotare. He does. He fakes with the Mind Freeze and the Shock, but he won't be able to land it. Everyone's going to get out of LOS before he can. Jpeg is just going to throw out some dots, trying to do what he can here. We can see that the Hex does land on Jpeg. He's going to trigger that immediately. And another Shadow Fear going to come out. They're going to try to burst Marm here. And some big damage coming in onto him, and it's going to force the AMS. But AMS is such a short cooldown, so it's not really that big of a deal. There was a full trap there on Hulk Pass. It's actually going to force out the PS, but I think that was kind of wasted because Marm looked like he was fine.
Yeah, it was. I feel like it was wasted as well. He could have just stayed behind that pillar and avoid the damage. But while AMS is up, you get runic power from taking magic damage, I believe. So being able to throw out so many death calls in that AMS, so it actually creates quite some pressure. But it seems like Crystal is doing such a good job healing through all the pressure right now. Marm's still on the 30%, having no AMS this time, having to swap IBF to stay alive, and there's an Earth Grab onto Jpeg and to ACK, so both the DPS are going to be rooted out of sight, and Crystal can't dispel those and doesn't have a freedom, so that's going to be Earth Grabs is a big deal on this map.
The priest used Pain Suppression at the same time as that AMS was used, so that's really the big concern for me. And Jpeg, you know, is down to about 50% HP in that Nod, taking quite a bit of damage. But it's so hard for this Destro Lock to do that much when they're on the pillar here. And he is able to kill that Tremor on the Halotare, so Flynn trinketed and Tremor the rest of his teammates out. Marm taking quite a bit of damage. AMS is available, and he does use it once again. ACK going to be taking some damage. Crystal's going to be the main target though, and he is going to get Psychic Extreme rather. He's taking quite a bit actually, down to about 60% HP, 50% HP. Tremors the rest of his teammates out of that, but he's at 30%. Going to have to NS immediately, and I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. He tries to fake that Mind Freeze, but it does not bite, and now the Mind Freeze was just straight up whiffed. He's going to get gripped on the Hex though, and he's going to jump down. I think he might just die here. Oh, 1% HP, the heal does land. I think he will now live because of that, but wow, that was actually, you know, big kind of misstep there by Marm. Could have just completely finished the game off right there, but unfortunately he was able to miss that Mind Freeze, and that's the only thing that kept Chrysalit alive. AZK is still a little bit low, but Chrysalit is going to swap the Earth Shield over onto him and be able to top him back off.
Yeah, there's so much pressure going on to Chrysalit's team right now. I mean, AZK is still at 70%, and Marm's just going to fall back and kind of reset a bit here, I would think. But he is actually going to grip AZK in, and he's going to take so much damage, having to disengage away. And Flynn is still turning into him, so there was a pin onto Marm, I think. So he's not going to be able to catch up. But it seems like you're spamming Death Claw, still doing so much damage. There's the chains coming out. He's going to be able to sit on AZK from now on, and he's going to take so much damage. He's going to be forced to the Tyrant most likely. Chris is actually being able to spam him AZK, so AZK is going to be able to stay, keep himself alive here.
Yeah, he is, but I mean, Chrysalit has already used his Mana Tide, and he's having to send out so many heals that his mana is really kind of running out relatively quickly here. There's a knot onto AZK, just trying to shut him down, get as much damage in as possible without him being able to dodge or kite or anything. And Chrysalit, you know, even just taking some off damage, having to heal himself up. He's down below 10k mana. Possibly can go for a drink or something if AZK can play defensively. I feel like it might be a good decision to go for that drink early, as now his team is top, and I think that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to run back into the middle, and Jpeg force up top, so he really should be going for the drink here. AZK just has to be careful. Chrysalit sitting up top, trying to wait to get out of combat. There he is out of combat, and I feel like, you know, with some good defensive play, they should be able to drink to full. And that is going to be huge if he's able to do that. But AZK going to have to deterrence. Chrysalit does stand up, but he only able to get about 2k mana back. Yeah,
I mean, that was a good decision for Chrysalit to go drink, and Marmus instantly countered that by popping his goil as soon as Chrysalit started drinking. So that was a good decision by Marmus, slowly stopping Chrysalit from getting any mana back.
Yeah, really good job there by him. AZK forced a deterrence there as well, so not the best trade. There was Strangulate used on Chrysalid when he came back, but Jpeg is so fast with the Devours, man. Just instantly remove that. No problem. Hulkat's going to pop his Hymn of Hope, trying to get some mana back of his own. And he does have 3 minutes left on that Shadow Fiend, so I don't think his mana is going to be an issue at all. He is drinking. If they could stop that, that could be nice, but it looks like they are going to have to just force him to stand up anyway because there's a Death Coil used on Flynn, and Flynn is going to retreat back bottom, and he is Shadow Feared. And I mean, I think that Flynn, Marm, and Hulkpass are in a position where they can't really be killed when they're playing on that pillar, but at the same time, it's hard for them to actually finish off the opposing team as well.
Yeah, and Marm actually ripping down ACK. He's just going to keep sitting on the back wing, but Marm's taking so much damage. There's a full fear coming onto Flynn right now, which is not getting dispelled, so he cannot really. He has to trinket that fear, it seems like, to assist healing Marm.
Yeah, and they use Pain Suppress again there. Lichborn used defensively AMZ as well. AMS about to come back up, so he should be able to live, but Pets Act, everything used. So they use basically every single defensive cooldown there. They really have nothing left. IBF, AMS, Pets Act, AMS, AMZ, everything used. So really good pressure coming out of both AZK and Jpeg here. And they may be able to capitalize on that. Another full trap on the Hulk pass, and Marm could be in some trouble if they can really catch up to him and get the damage going. But unfortunately for them, he is kind of back behind the corner. He's in Frost Presence as well, so they can't really make anything happen with that. And AZK is going to be taking some big damage here, and he is I really just want to see them play defensively after they get the pressure going. Just allow Chrysalid to get full mana and then come in and just start spamming Purge and just go crazy offensive.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, Flynn's team doesn't actually have any defensive cooldowns at all right now. Everything's just off cooldown. I mean, on cooldown.
Yep, and Marm is taking some damage here, and he's going to be under some pressure here. He's going to get flagged, and he's down at 40% HP. He's going to have to use that AMS, and that is really the only thing he has left because it's such a short cooldown, but it's already expired. So if they can get in there, maybe they can make something happen. And Hulkpass's mana is being pressured pretty heavily. Chris is going to get gripped back down to the bottom. Earthshields himself immediately before that Ghoul Stun came in. ACK is trying to just pump out that damage. They're going to swap right back onto him. Earthshield swapped immediately over by Chrysalid. And there's a Shadow Fury put down. AZK going to both... Wow, what was that deterrence? That was... I guess he was just scared about the Lava Burst coming in. But anyway, yeah, it's not going to be too impactful. Marm, though, taking a lot of damage here, down to half HP. No heals have come in just yet. He's at 40%. He's going to go back in Frost Presence once again, now catching Lesser Healing Waves and Bennett's, and his G-Heal coming out as well. We can see Viper Sting and the Fear put onto Hulkpass. He's going to be getting mana drained here from Jpeg, so he's just trying to tap him out completely. And it looks like he will be able to do just that.
Yeah, with his Shadow Fiend, he's back up in 20 seconds though, but Hulkpass actually said it's pretty low. I mean, if they manage to control that Shadow Fiend somewhat, then Hulkpass is going to be in some mana trouble, but he's actually sitting down to drink right now, and it doesn't seem like anyone's going to try to stop that. Flyn's taking some damage though into a coil, but trinketing that coil just to keep himself alive, and it seems like that's going to work out for them. But Hulkpass didn't actually get much mana there. I thought he would get much more, but so he's still in some mana trouble.
Yeah, you actually got volleyed, I think, by AZK, so nice move by AZK. And Flynn is taking a ton of damage on 40% HP. Can Hulkpass pick him back up because he is silencing shot, and Lesser Healing Waves are being spammed out by Flynn, but not that effective because there is the MS up from that Hunter. And AZK will get topped off there by Chrysalid, and Chrysalid just spamming out those heals. He's going to fake the Mind Freeze once again. Nice job by Chrysalid. Going to be able to keep AZK full on HP. Hulkpass getting a ton of mana back right now from that Fiend, I do believe. Yeah, the Fiend was used. He's going to be up to about 11,000 mana. AZK down to 40% HP. He's going to have to deter it as Chrysalid is gripped in. He's going to drop the Tremor Totem, anticipating that Fear. And AZK is under a lot of pressure right here because they did have to trinket that, and he's trying to get the Lesser Healing Waves out. He's trying to spam those out and top off AZK, and he definitely needs to do just that. And AMS has fallen, so maybe they can get something going on Marm here. They're really going to have to. Yeah,
and I feel like AZK's team is sort of falling behind a bit. I mean, Flynn's team actually just got so much mana back, and they have all their defensive cooldowns back, and AZK is used deterrence, so I mean, they're under so much pressure, and Chrysalis mana dropping over. AZK down to 20% with that Goil up. He's going to take so much damage. There is the... Yeah, he's dead, is he?